Wake up and smell the coffee, Mr. LaRusso.
Extreme situations require extreme measures.
Yo guys, back to Cobra Kai Karate. Welcome back to a brand new video. And guys, Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 is out. And I hate to say it, I don't want to be the guy, but I have to be the guy. I did not like it at all. I thought it was almost as bad as Part 1, maybe even worse. And I hate to say it, because it's my favorite show of all time, you know, but yeah, this is not just a slow start anymore. This is practically the whole season. So we're gonna get to everything, the whole deep dive. I'm sorry I posted this a bit late. My phone wasn't working, then I got sick. I was throwing up today. Of course, the day Cobra Kai happens. I'm still a little bit sick now, but I feel a bit better. Yeah, that's how bad it was to make me throw up. I'm kidding. But anyway, I don't even know where to dive into this. It was such a big karate mess. That's the best way I can describe it. So I'm just gonna start with the first episode, or the 6th episode, and we'll just go up from there. And yeah, episode 6. Now this episode wasn't bad. I don't think it was great or good. It was kind of just stuff happening. There wasn't actually like a continuous plot, just them kind of settling in, and I'm kind of just introducing some arcs that are gonna go down. But overall, I thought it was not a bad episode. Now I do like the discussion that Robbie and Tori had. I felt like it made sense, but I feel like it was placed wrong. Like I said, there's like a huge gap between episode 5 and episode 6. Like, Tori's mom passes away. It's a huge thing. Then the Sagai guy. And then only in dialogue we find out that Robbie talked to her. We don't get to see any scenes of that. We don't get to see any scenes of Chosen coming back, or like them talking about where he went. It's like such a huge plot hole they just missed, and they just fill it in with dialogue. I just felt that was written wrong. And then on to other things. Overall, I did like the whole Sam thing. I feel like I liked Sam's talk to Tori. She seemed a lot more mature about it. So that's one thing I did like. I do think they're making Kreese too big of a villain too fast. I feel like his arc in season 5 was so good at becoming a good guy. I feel like they're rushing towards that so fast. It feels like why even give him a redemption arc then? Why not just have him have a redemption arc in season 6 and have him be a bad guy in season 5? Then it'd be turned into a good guy in season 5, turn back to a bad guy. You know, I said that's the same for part 1, but I don't know. And then now the whole Chosen stuff was funny, of him walking in there all drunk and stuff. I do think it was a little overboard. It was a little playing into the comedy a little too much, and I also do think that it was a little out of character. But overall, I thought it was pretty funny. And of course, Hawk loses again in a fight. I mean, what else is new? They're keeping respecting his character. And I also don't like all the gossip about Robbie. Like, Robbie's girlfriend's in Cobra Kai are really rough on him. And everyone's like, oh, this guy shouldn't be this, he shouldn't be that, he shouldn't be Miguel. It's like, this is your friend. And what are you guys doing? I understand why they're mad because he's not putting his effort, but like, I feel like they're just rushing towards that without even really talking to him about the whole Tori thing. So yeah, first episode, I'm gonna give it like a, I don't know, 6.5 or a 6.9, 7 maybe, around that area. It was alright, but yeah. Alright, episode 7. So my main critique of this was the Daniel and Johnny stuff. They're going at it again. They're just going at each other, going way too far. It is just way too absurd. And even Daniel, like, Johnny, like, oh, you're still contemplating about, like, your dead sensei. It's like, what are these guys doing? They've done this so many times. It's like, it's so non-original, and it just goes out of character when in season 5 and season 4 or 3, they're building toward that friendship. I'm not saying they have to be friends. They just can't be like that all the time. Because it's like, I don't know. It's just not right, in my opinion. I feel like that stuff is in the past. I'm over it, and they just need to get over that. And then also this episode was just absurd in the pasting. Why the frick are we having Daniel getting kidnapped by some people putting in a dog cage fight? Or not a cage, actually not a cage fight. Gee, at a fight? What the hell is Michael Vick? A dog cage. Like, what is going on? Like, I was watching, I'm like, what has this show come to? We have Daniel in a dog cage. I know, like, Silver set him up but like, it just seems like this is just like turning into such a weird karate soap opera, and I guess you could argue it was kind of like that before, but before it was kind of more fun, it kind of made more sense. It was a little bit more realistic. I feel like it's going so overboard, it's like a little too much for me. But I will say, I did love the tension between all the students in the locker room, where they were all going at each other. Sam's getting mad at Johnny, Devin's getting mad at Sam, I think it felt real. It felt nice. It felt good writing, good acting. I did like that scene right there. I also like what Johnny said too, to Daniel in the voice call. But at the same time, it's like, he said this 50 times. Like, he said, look, man, all this stuff. He said that like 50 times. He played a sad music. He's like, we've done this before. But it was a good speech. I didn't like it, but I don't know. The one thing I will say, I love the Psycho Taikai. That's my number one thing about the season and part. Psycho Taikai. The fights were awesome. I love the Miguel 2v1 he fought in and won. It was just, Psycho Taikai was entertaining and fun, and I think it's better than both of the All Valleys, so I love the Psycho Taikai. That's my number one thing. And oh boy, where do I even start with this? Episode 8. So, the first episode, they weren't terrible. There's definitely things I didn't like. And I was still worrying about no silver. Episode 8 was the worst episode in Cobra Kai history by far. And if I might sound more over dramatic, but I think if you guys want to argue that part 1 was like, I don't know, burying Cobra Kai's legacy, that was the nail in the coffin. What? I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna get to it, but there's one moment in this episode where I knew like this season's cooked, it's over. Because part 1 being bad is like, okay, we don't know the whole story. Now you have 60, 63, 64% of the whole season being bad, not on track, not good pacing, not good arcs. Let me just get to episode 8. I don't know how I'm even get through this, dude. It was terrible. One of the worst television episodes I've ever seen in my life. Alright, let's just get to it. So, I know I just said it's the worst episode of Cobra Kai history, but I do want to talk about something I do like. So this episode starts, or I guess episode 7 ends with the whole Johnny going back to America to, because Carmen could be hurt or something. I love the speech he gave with Miguel where they're crying, breaking down, some of the best acting in the show, one of the best moments in season 6. And I love the whole thing of them going there. And all the Miguel stuff and Johnny stuff was done really well. That was the peak of this episode. But that being so good is personally why this episode's the worst, because what they mix this in with, like I said, the pasting, it's like 40 different things going on at once. And you put that in there, such an emotional big thing. And you have the other stuff, which is terrible, which we'll get to. So yeah, I guess we'll just talk about the first thing, and this is let's talk about the Kenny stuff first. So we get this whole Anthony Kenny thing, and we don't know if Carmen's going to live or die. We don't know if the baby's going to be alive or not. In between, we have Anthony crapping his pants. Like, he buys it just to crap his pants. I'm like, what are we doing? And the pacing was so weird that we're doing this in America, we're doing this in here, we're doing this in there. It's like, oh my gosh. It was like a huge headache, this episode. And then we get this whole thing with, okay, now this right here. This is the moment I was talking about when I said it's the worst, like the show's cooked. Kim Da-eun and Chosen. What the frick is going on? If you don't think they ran out of plot, dude, they never even knew each other. They never showed any indication of like, oh, I need a partner. No, they just randomly see each other, boom, they're making out. Just throw that out there like it's nothing. Just for nothing. Nope, doesn't matter. I can't even put into words. I can't even like comprehend what I can comprehend, fathom what the frick just happened. It was so bad. Tremendous. Terrible. These people have no chemistry. Their characters had no indication towards this. Just randomly happens out of nowhere. And you barely even build on it. And the next day they're like, oh, these love partners and stuff. And then that's not even the worst of it. Well, it is, but it gets worse. Then we get even more love drama. Yeah, if you guys thought love drama was worse enough, then we see Sam on a beach. She sees Axel, no shirt on. She walked up to her to talk to him. They're walking on a beach. I know Sam didn't do anything, but like, what is going on? Just weird tension that's going on that I just do not like. Now Axel kind of likes her. It's just this weird karate love drama that I just hate. I mean, season 2, I did not like it, but at least that was somewhat reasonable because they're teenagers. Now we got adults in this. We got all this other weird stuff going on. And then we got this whole, what else we got going on? Oh, God. Then we get another fight with the Sam and Chosen. I mean, sorry. What the frick's his name? Guan? I forgot his name. And then beyond that, we get to even more love drama. Tori. I mean, not Tori. Robbie starts going out with Zara. More love drama. Let's just have her dating Zara. Well, I mean, why not? Let's have... And then, of course, she walks in the right exact time. This is so bad. I'm sorry. I hate to break everyone's bubble because I know a lot of Cobra Kai fans love this, but just open your eyes, dude. This is bad. Like, just... And I know they've done this kind of in the past before of holding in season 2 versus seeing them. That at least had a good plot, good character arcs. These people love each other. They've been through stuff. They're adults in a karate tournament almost. And we're still doing this. We're in season 6, guys. 6. Alright. And then, yeah, of course, she walks in the right time. I did like the one Rocky reference of Carmen saying win from Rocky 2. That made me happy. And then it ends with Silver. By the time he came in, and they're all there. Dennis is there from Karate Kid. It was nice to see him back. And I like to see Silver back. That was cool. Even though he felt like such less... That's me my big thing from talking about later episodes. Silver was barely part of this. He barely had any importance to this. And he didn't even really feel out of character. I feel like there's so much more he could have done. He could have played in so much more. We're going to talk about episode 9 a little bit. Episode 9, they almost played into him being depressed. You could have played out a lot more of him being depressed, of him wanting to just take him down and like mentally abused him almost. That's what I envisioned of Terry Silver, of him being an ultimate failure of manipulating both. And he kind of did that, but it was like kind of half-assed. And I just hate it. But yeah, this episode was awful. I'm going to give it like a 0.2. And the 0.2 is just for the Rocky reference. So yeah, let's do the next episode. And we get one of the most disrespectful things this show has ever done. We get a Mr. Miyagi flashback, and I'm fine with the flashback, but then we have Daniel inside this flashback, and then we see a real Mr. Miyagi, and they do an AI. The fact they're taking a dead man's face and making it AI, and the fact is, it was awful. The worst AI I've ever seen in my life. It looked like a video game, and it was moving so weird, the mouth was so weird. It was terrible. You're doing that to Mr. Miyagi, the most important character in this show. You need a robot-looking AI, freaking... I could have drawn it better than that. It looks like a freaking video game from 1922. Well, maybe. But it was just awful. Pat Morita's passed away. You're using his face terribly in a weird way. In like this Daniel thing. And he like, either I think he like kills Daniel in the flashback or like this like vision. It's just so disrespectful. And they're scraping on the floor for some sort of plot they can do because it's so washed. It's so over. And I'm just so over everything. But let's get to the rest of this episode. But I love the beginning with Silver in the bar, and we even see John Hurwitz as playing the lawyer. That was really cool to see. A cool cameo. That was awesome. I gotta make sure I'm not stupid. That's John Hurwitz. Oh my gosh, it's not John Hurwitz. Is it Hayden Schlossberg? I can't remember all these guys' names. I can barely remember my own name. I'm sorry. I think it was Hayden. Apologies. All right, but that was really cool to see that. And then but like I said, the karate soap opera continues. We have Kreese just walk out, just punch Silver in the face. It's like, what is going on? I think the show becomes just way over its head, just way over its head, and it's just terrible. But I did love the fights. I love them all, especially the one last fight with Robbie. The fights were amazing. That's one of my favorite things about this, and that's probably the most rewatchable things about this season. And then we learn about the Miyagi killed somebody. Now, me like a year ago would hate this. But I actually like this idea. I think it makes sense because if he was in a depressed state, a depressed mind, and then he goes in here and he accidentally kills someone, that would explain why he's even more broken and why he's so against tournaments. Because people say, oh, him fighting a tournament is contradicting his character because he doesn't like tournaments. Okay, well, he has to not like it for a reason. Okay, so there has to be a reason for it. Doesn't mean his whole life he disliked it. So... I like what they're doing with that. I think it's interesting. I just don't know if it's necessarily the time to do it, but I think it is interesting. All right, now I gotta talk about this too. This was terrible. So, Cobra Kai gets kicked out, right? It's kicked out. And then, coincidentally, randomly, they find out that another person was doing steroids or something, and then they escape back in because they're the next lineup. Dude, the coincidence of this show is just so way too corny. It's like Power Ranger story writing, dude. It's so bad. Like, you can't think of anything smarter to do than, oh, the guys are doing steroids, so now they can come back in. So we just wanted Robbie to win a fight, but now they're coming back in. We're going to Cobra Kai back in. You're Cobra Kai versus Miyagi. Let's go. I'm sorry. I just don't get it. And then we have Johnny and Daniel going back and forth at it. Again, what else is new? And then we gave you a more corny thing. The guy that was doing the steroids just comes out of nowhere, just punches the dude in the face and goes, let's fight! And it's just a huge freaking brawl inside the thing. I'm like, what in the... Dude, So that's it. That's the catalyst towards the huge brawl fight. They crack a guy who's doing steroids, and he just goes crazy and ballistic. Everyone starts fighting each other. That's their master writing. Okay. And then even like how corny the fight was. Like Guan falls right next to the camera, and it breaks. He's looking at the camera of a man, and he smiles or something. Like, it's just so weird. All right, then we gotta talk about the biggest thing. Guan gets a knife. Well, first off, I do want to talk about this. Kreese goes to get a knife to go kill Silver. Silver, they get in a fight. Kreese and Silver fight. I thought was pretty cool. And to see Johnny come in and actually, I'm not saying defend Kreese, but him fight Silver shows that Silver's more of an enemy towards him. I like that. I think that could play into part 3. But then Guan comes out with a knife and falls down and literally dies. There's blood everywhere. And I'm like, I don't know if some people like this, some people hate it. I'm kind of in the middle. I think, okay, you want to go overboard? Sure. But like, what does the show come to? Just go back to season 1 of like a simpleness tone, or even like season 4 or 5. Season 5, they're just fighting in All Valley, taking down Terry Silver at his dojo. He crane kicks him, put him in jail. All the characters are on the good side now. They're redeemed. Kreese is even redeemed a bit. End it right there. But now we got people dying in tournaments, getting stabbed. We got like love drama between Kim Jong-un and Chosen. We have people cheating again, love drama, love triangles. It's just like, even Dimitri's having love drama. It's like, oh my gosh. But onto that, I will say, one last thing I will say that was good about this was the probably one of the best scenes I've seen in Cobra Kai for years, and probably gonna be the best scene of the whole part, the whole season, was the speech of "This is the last time." They're all getting emotional. It was done perfectly, since because this is the last season. It was so emotional, and you can even tell the actors are feeling it because they know it's the last season. One last time, it was perfect. I love the training montage. This episode had some great stuff to it. This season could have been so good. Or I don't know if this season, I really don't think, because the characters' arcs were complete in season 5. I stand by that. You tell me any character arc that was getting from Tori getting redeemed to Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, with Daniel, with Johnny Daniel, everything went backwards. The love drama, Daniel and Tori and Robbie makeup, Sam and Miguel makeup, it's perfect. And now here we are. Huge karate soap opera that I want no part of. So I think the season's over. I think it's the worst season now. It's like nothing can save it. I hate to be that guy, and I hate that the show ends like this. But I'll always remember the good days of this. And for all the people that do love this, I wish I could be you. And I'm sorry that if you like my channel, you love the season. I'm sorry to be that guy, but I gotta be honest. And yeah, so that's basically all to say. I'm giving this part. I'm gonna give it the same rating I gave for season 6. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a 6.5. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 6, just a 6. So that's it. Basically all to say, guys. Yeah, I hate to say this, but it's true. Season's over. Show's over. Now we got to focus on a part 3. What Kyle's going to happen there is Kreese can start dating Amanda now, like God forbid. And then we're going to go into a multiverse Karate Kid movie where it's going to be Mr. Han. So this is what this universe come to. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to be a fan of the show, and it's ridiculous. So I'm ashamed, and I'm really mad that the creators have turned the show into this, because they've always stayed true to their word. They've always loved the creators, and they always loved the show, loved the characters, and they always I always believe they would never go to that next step or turn to The Walking Dead season 7 or turn into the Game of Thrones with The Flash. They're taking that next step. At least they're ending it then. Imagine there's season 7. Sorry to say, guys, but this is bad. If you guys loved it, tell me the reasons why. I love to hear it. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Always remember, choose those correct extreme measures. Peace.